Hello there and welcome back to this JavaScript course where today in this lesson we're going to be having a look at creating our very first JavaScript application. So we are finally out of all that theory stuff that we've been doing for the last, three lessons where we have pretty much been dying of boredom. And in this lesson we're finally going to write some code. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Okay, so here we are on our desktop, and before we actually do go ahead and write some code, we need to consider a few things. So first of all, we need to consider where we're going to write our JavaScript, and then second of all, we need to consider where we are going to execute our JavaScript. So, usually we write this stuff in an IDE or a text editor. So an IDE is an integrated development environment, which essentially just allows us to do a whole bunch of stuff. Essentially, it's kind of like a text editor where we can edit text, but then beefed up with a bunch of different features that allow you to, be more productive when you are programming. So, like for example, you can go ahead and search in a file. You can go ahead and have a command to run your application, and so on and so on. And there are a ton of different IDEs that we can use. The most popular one, I would say, for JavaScript is probably WebStorm, but that's a little bit too complex for us. And what we're actually going to be using is just VS Code, which VS Code is a very, very popular text editor. So it does sort of not really show. It sort of fades the line. Is that right? Fades the line between IDE and text editor, since it does have a ton of really cool features that you can use for programming. But nevertheless, at the very core, it's a text editor, and we can just use it for that. So it's pretty simple stuff. Okay, so on our desktop here, let's create a new folder. This is going to be called JavaScript course. And JavaScript is shortened by JS. So yeah, that's something to note. All right, inside there, let's go ahead and create a new folder. It's going to be Unit 1. Okay. And yeah, there we go, Unit 1. Now let's go ahead and we can go and create a new file here, but let's just drag Unit 1 into here. There we go. We can close out welcome. And then here we can just go and create a new file. Let's just call this 1.1. And then let's make it an HTML file. Whoops, that's wrong. 1.1.html. There we go. Okay, so you can see our editor knows now that this is an HTML file. Let me make this a little bit bigger here so you can actually see something. There we go. Okay, so let's go to do HTML as we usually do HTML. Doc type HTML. There we go. HTML tags, body tags. There we go, looking good. Now inside here, what we're also going to have is a head tag for the head. And inside there, we're actually going to have a script tag. And inside that script tag, we're going to have script type equals text / JavaScript. All right, there we go. So inside here, we can actually now write JavaScript. Inside the body, let's go ahead and do something like this. We're going to have, let's do button. Button on click equals, and we're going to have a handle click method. There we go. And inside the text of the button, we're just going to have click me. All right, there we go. Now let's go ahead and create our handle click function here, not method, function. Function handle click. There we go. And inside there, we can just do console.log. And then let's do hello world, because why not? There we go. Okay, let's save that. There we go. We have our file saved. Let's go ahead and open this up here in Finder. There we go. We have our HTML here, and you can see we already have a preview. Now we need to consider where we're going to run this, right? So we're most likely going to run this in a browser. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let me go ahead and get a browser open. All right, so here I am with an open browser. Let me go ahead and we can actually going to drag this into the browser, and that's going to run the HTML file. There we go. Cool. Now let's go ahead and inspect. Okay, so this is just some our browser tools where we can see information about our web page. And up here we actually have this console here. And as you can probably guess, this is where hello world is going to output when we click this button. So let's go ahead and click it. There we go. You can see now that we get hello world in the console. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, there we go. We have written our very first JavaScript application. Now, this is sort of cliche what I just did, with creating our very first JavaScript app. At this point, if you're a beginner at programming, you're supposed to just sit there and go and be in awe that this is an app. Like, you can't believe that this is an app. You thought an app was like something so complex and difficult. And then out of nowhere, I slide in here and create a JavaScript app so simply, and it's also simple, and you're amazed. And yeah, that's kind of cliche and kind of terrible. But I mean, I needed to demonstrate this, and I am cliche and I am terrible. So that's what can you do? One more thing to note here is that we actually do have a JavaScript console here that we can go ahead and interact with. So inside here, we can actually directly put JavaScript code. So for example, we can put just console.log. And can you actually see this? Let me make this bigger. There we go. We can do console.log, and then inside there we can do hello world, right? There we go. And then we can go and just click enter, and that's going to run that. And there we go. You can see here that we get hello world. Okay, so that is essentially our very first application. Yeah.